Scott Derrickson is perhaps most well known for 2012's Sinister, the movie where Ethan Hawke watches creepy home videos shot on film of various tragedies that have befallen family after family. Sinister remains a very watchable exercise in horror, and one particular jump scare with a lawnmower still sends shivers up my spine. His next movie, Deliver Us from Evil, followed Eric Bana as he investigated a series of supernatural happenings assisted by a priest. I found the visual style of that movie very much to my tastes as a fan of grimy city-based police procedurals with a horror tinge. Seven remains the best example I've seen in that subgenre. Derrickson then went on to direct the first Doctor Strange movie, his visual flair and talent for story structure obviously attracting the attention of the Marvel Universe, but also his box office success. His latest horror movie, The Black Phone, has accumulated a worldwide gross of over $160 million against a budget of just 18. In The Black Phone, Derrickson reunites with Ethan Hawke to tell the story of the Grabber and the local children he has kidnapped and murdered. The movie is based on a 19-page short story by Horn's author Joe Hill, son of Stephen King. Set in the late 1970s and replete with period detail right down to fashion and arcade pinball machines, the movie is shot in a faded style with saturated hues to match the films of that decade. Shirts come in the wide collared variety, and pants are baggy and loose. Our lead character is Finney, played with wide-eyed fear but a certain never-give-up gusto by relative newcomer Mason Thomas. He is 13 and is bullied at school. Indeed, bloody and violent fights seem to occur on a daily basis amongst the students, and danger lurks around every corner. He is occasionally backed up by his sister Gwen, a tough girl who at one point in the movie strikes one of Finney's attackers around the head with a rock. After the subsequent beating, she sits down next to the shocked bully. As he stares ahead, dazed and paralysed, a thick trickle of blood spills down his shirt and pants. At home, the pair live with their father, Jeremy, an alcoholic and abusive dad who has descended into the bottle since their mother committed suicide. Their mother may have had psychic powers which Gwen has inherited. She has vivid dreams that seem to be trying to tell her something, and she dabbles in the dark art of tarot cards. We know from the posters that litter the community's fences that several children are missing. A child kidnapper is seemingly at hand, and police search parties and investigation have left the town trembling in fear who might be next to be grabbed. That next unfortunate soul will of course be Finney. While walking on a street that reminded me a little of the one where the Myers house sits in the Halloween franchise, Finney encounters a black van. Outside, a man dressed in black with black balloons squats next to the ominous vehicle. If ever there was one for child kidnapping, this would be it. Ethan Hawke's long, grey, shaggy hair spools out behind a face painted in blotchy, clown-style face paint. He's a magician and certainly looks the part. This is one of only a few times we get to see Hawke's face. When he inevitably goes to grab Finney, the boy's experience of defending himself in violent encounters serves him well, and he cuts the grabber's arm with a small torch that's in the shape of an Apollo space rocket that he carries around. The moon landings define the 70s as the pinnacle of human endeavour. Where Finney wakes up next, he might as well have been on the lunar surface. The grabber, while shrieking in agony, succeeds. It is here that the main plot of Hill's original story begins, as Finney is confined to a filthy basement with one barred window, a dirty mattress, a toilet, and of course, a black phone. Hawke appears to explain that he won't hurt Finney, and that he is not the child killer. We might believe him, were it not for the disturbing mask he's wearing. Inspired by Depression-era magician's masks, legendary effects artist Tom Savini has crafted several that are genuinely frightening. Each either covers Hawke's face completely, or reveals the bottom or top halves. His wild eyes add to the terror, and I found Hawke's performance by far the most compelling part of the movie. This is in part due to his reputation for playing the hero, or certainly likeable, lovable characters. The shock of his evil here adds to the dread and sense of unease. The grabber likes to play a game which he calls Naughty Boy. While the door to the basement can be locked hard to prevent escape, the grabber occasionally entices his victims to attempt an escape, giving him a reason to dish out a hard beating with a leather belt. It is Finney's attempted escape which proves to be the most riveting and heart-jolting scene of the movie. Unlike Hill's story, which takes place entirely in the basement, therefore crafting a deep claustrophobic power over the reader, Derrickson's movie cuts back and forth between the basement and Gwen's attempts to find her brother. As the callers to the black phone assist Finney with his escape, ratcheting up the tension in some truly unnerving moments, the cutbacks to Gwen and a shallow attempt to convey the dark relationship between her and her father breaks the sense of dread and rhythm. At times this makes the movie feel less like a horror film than a coming-of-age teen drama. Stephen King has compared Derrickson's movie to his own teen drama Stand By Me, and I could certainly grasp the comparison. This, however, leaves the movie slightly muddled as to what it wants to be. If Derrickson had confined the rest of the film to the dreaded basement, the black phone might have been a truly disturbing and powerful horror experience. If, like me, you had anticipated that, the movie feels disappointing and a missed opportunity. Those horrifying masks Master of the Dark Arts Savini conjured feel wasted here. I sincerely hope they are put to more powerful and bone-chilling use in another darker depiction of the grabber and his pure, unfiltered evil.